Well, we're on our way back to Guelph. It was Lyle. It was Amy's father's birthday yesterday, so we went out to dinner today. It's always great to catch up with Jenna and Matt and all the kids, Shelly and Lyle. We're just driving home with Coco Melon blaring in the back here, so it's a little distracting, but I've been told it can't be turned down.
Yeah, you were told.
I was told that it can't be turned down, that any lower, and Addie can't hear it. So she's declined my request to have the volume reduced. It's been declined. Okay. It's been a beautiful last few days. It's going to be a rotten next 7 days for people in Ontario. I'm going to be away for most of the week, but it's going to be okay tomorrow in Miami Valley, supposedly, and then a little damp, a little wet, potentially wet in Northfield for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So not ideal situation for me, at least, for sure. But can't spoil today. Today has been a beautiful day. Sun is out. It's a plus 27. Man, it's hard to believe. And we've had a great week, quite frankly. So I'll run through the week as it went. Monday and Tuesday were complete disasters. But, every so often we all get a wake-up call. We all get that splash of cold water as to remind us that this is horse racing. There's no gimmies. There's no guarantees. Addie, any chance we could just turn it down just a little bit? I feel that you've turned it up. I feel that you've turned it up a little bit. I feel that in my ears, I feel that you have just a little bit. That's better, I think.
Of all the things that you have been able to tune out since
Coco Melon, I can't do it.
3 children or kids that cry during the night.
The Coco Melon right in my ears, I just can't take it. Maybe I need like ear cups or something. So Monday and Tuesday again, just a real how do you do for us. Monday, White Tiger made a break. Unbeatable Kemp made a break. I probably fell down on my way back to the car. I don't know, but it was a horrible day. Tuesday, much of the same. All the horses, it seemed like, although it wasn't accurate, some trained bad. It felt like everything trained bad on Tuesday, and I had to depart to race in Ohio, knowing that we just had such a horrible start to the week. But what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And as I got to Ohio, oh my gosh, raced as good as he could. Columbus raced as good as he could. They weren't winners, but you can't fault them for doing what they're able to do. They both raced good. I get up the next day, and what a treat. All the horses in Ohio trained good. It seemed like everything went perfect. Yeah, bud.
Didn't you say it would be cold today?
I know, I was wrong. It's going to be cold tomorrow, honey.
Yeah, I told you that.
Thank you for the I told you so. I appreciate that. You're 9. I'd just like to walk home. So Wednesday was just such a great day. We're going to go through, I did a list. Amy and I are going to talk through the babies and a list with you. I know the top 10 lists that I made for this week. I went with everything in Ohio. We went with everything Saturday. So I got a pretty good look at everybody in real time. And the way I made this list this week was if you did anything wrong, which almost everybody didn't, you couldn't make the list. If you weren't in action this week, you couldn't make the list. And I still had 33 horses to talk about. Of those 33, it took me a while, but I did whittle it down to 10. And we'll get to that in a little bit. As I said, the babies all trained down great on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, a great night there too. Wally Hennessy was in town for the Drivers' Challenge and drove Dustin Hanover. He had a great second with him. We could have went around 4 more days. You weren't going to beat the horse that won that race at Ron Burke's. So Dustin Hanover just raced tremendous. Addie, how you doing? Do you want to do? Stonebridge Acadi raced very, very good also. Very impressed with the way he raced. Coupe de Ville and Mopar Baby looked really, really good. I had the outside the first week. We had the rail, which was tough for Coupe. We made a tiny, tiny little change with her. Had the outside with her the other night. She was much, much better. Big last half, big last quarter, and closing hard on the end of it. Easily the best race of her life. And then Mopar Baby, just a little bit earlier, went the best race of her life, I believe. Didn't get away well, But really, last 3 quarters, I think we're 126-3 or something in Mopar Babies race. Just a very, very good mile from everybody on Wednesday night. Now I'm feeling happy, right? We didn't win any races Wednesday night, but everything raced good. The babies were all good Wednesday. Thursday, I get up. I know we got a bunch qualifying. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do with Patrick the Piranha. Is he going to stay in Northfield? Is he going to go to Plain Ridge right away? How's that going to look? That's all going to depend on how he's about to qualify. And he answered the bell pretty quick. I did want to go a mile and 53, but there was a little jostling going to the quarter pole. I just wanted to keep him out of harm's way, right? I knew the horses I was in with. They're all pretty good horses, but he's a really good horse. And I didn't want to get away third and end up having to come first over, and I didn't know if the gentleman on the rail horse would cut me loose or try and park me. I just said enough is enough. I just wheeled out around them. I never did get the quarter mile mark, but I know I just let him saunter over the half and 55-3 easy. Out comes the gentleman again down the backstretch, and Patrick the Piranha was all business through the wire. And again, it feels silly saying it. Qualifier in 51-2 last quarter, 26-4, but very, very strong through the wire. He was switching gears again at the wire. I just wanted to make sure that he was on point, and he certainly was. It was hot. Northfield's known for being just a scorching fast track, but that was an impressive qualifier from Patrick the Piranha. What a mission, come out and wowed everybody again. Here's a horse that we're thinking 59, 2 minutes. Just qualify, don't make a break, do your work right, and then just go out and qualify in 56-2 like he's done it 15 times when he's never been even remotely. He hasn't been in 3 seconds, definitely 2, but mostly 3 seconds of that mile his entire life. And from to go out and do it so matter-of-factly was impressive. I liked what I saw from him. Tactical Mounds was incredibly good. Now, it's a good thing we drew all the bloods on the horses the next day. 3 high liver counts in the group. Tactical Mounds was very, very high, so I'm glad we got to draw that before we went to put her in to go. We can work on it and get it down somewhat. We've had a little more luck getting them down and quicker this week. Horn Players was a little bit lower. Oh, you must not want that again, eh?
I wonder if it depended. You took it to a different blood lab.
No, I don't think it's that. Okay, shush, Ed. Adeline. So Tactical Mounds' blood, her GGT was quite high, but hopefully we can get that down quickly and get her in to go, because she was unbelievably good on Thursday. Man, she was impressive. Then we went with Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Of all the horses, I think she was the flattest. A good mile. She's coming off a 2-3 training mile, a mile and 59. It was adequate, and those are 2 very, very good horses that won the qualifier. She finished third. Both were 2 of the better. Asian Zing was a very, very good horse for Rosie Weaver, and Global Girl, I believe, won that qualifier. One of the best fillies in Ohio last year. In fact, beat Swinging Senorita in the final in the super final. She was second, we were third. So a great qualifier again for her. I would like to see a little bit more, but again, she was good, and her GGT came back high also. So I think that probably played a bigger role. In fact, when I pulled up, and I said this, if you go back and watch the video from qualifying day, I had said before we ever got the blood work even taken, I bet you that filly's liver count was high, and it was very high. And then we had Austral Hanover, who qualified good. I wouldn't say it was spectacular. It was mile and 56, and maybe he's only going to be a 54, 55 trotter. 56 was good, and the 2 horses that beat him were very, very good horses also. An age trotter up front, a 4-year-old that already took a mark of 152 at the Meadows in November, I think. And the other one was a horse that had been sold in the fall for quite a bit of money, Star Power Hanover. That was Luke Blade's horse.
Well, if he can trot 54, he's a good Stein Series horse.
Oh, absolutely. He's already proven he's a good horse. And Tailgate Buzz was good, but he bled a little bit also. So we're going to add Lazex to him. We're just trying to find a race for these horses this week. Now, I got to try and do that today. I'm going to be talking to Megan a little bit. I'm going to give a call out to the race secretary at Oak Grove and see if there's a spot there, because we're not talking a week. Their first stake race is a PA All-Stars, but that's Crantini, Carter, Michael Dio. Do I really want to race Austral Hanover and Tailgate Buzz against those horses and horses like them to start their 3-year-old career? Probably not. So their first stake race is actually June the 3rd. If we have to, we'll go. But June the 3rd will likely be their first stake race. So it's now almost mid-April. It's April 5th, 16th now today. We will look for the best place for Austral and Tailgate Buzz. So I head home, big smile on my face. We didn't have a great night Thursday, but we entered some horses in the sale Monday, and they were, oh my gosh, it just is. You race good, 59-4, 29-2 in the end of it, but somebody in Indiana will probably be very interested in that guy. And then what do we have in? The two fillies, Leaps and Sister Solange, just because I thought they were probably worth money as broodmares. We're kind of getting through broodmare season. Do we want to race them in stake races or look to see what we can get right now? We'll test the market. We do have reserves on the two. What's wrong?
It's a 40 right here. It's so aggressive.
A 40?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It is. That's crazy. So tailgate, oh my gosh, and who's the other horse? The other gelding on the sale?
Landing pad.
Landing pad. That's what I was getting at. He raced on Thursday night. Can't be angry at the horse. He did what he could. He's just not good enough. So he went to the sale, and then Horn Player made a break, but her liver count was still screwed up. Everything was still screwed up a little bit on her. I'm trying to get her back on track, but it's easier said than done sometimes. So, it will happen, but is it going to happen overnight? We knew that when she made the break on James, she wasn't good. We worked on the problems we could see, and she still wasn't great. We've had the vet do a couple little things with her this week, I believe. I can't remember what Dominic said exactly. He did have some vet work done on her. Her liver count's coming down, was still a little high, and her AST, or muscle count, was a little high. So they'll continue to work on that. And as good as that was, to go watch Gandalf the Black win in 54, his last quarter had to be 26-4, right? I didn't look. The races was 27 flat.
I never looked.
I'm almost positive it had to be 26-4. And then only to be topped by a trotter, Resolute Bay, 26-3 on the end of it. He was awesome. So again, as we progressed through the week, we had horrible Monday, horrible Tuesday, pretty good, really good training for the babies and pretty good racing Wednesday. Great qualifiers on Thursday. We had a little hiccup at night with the horses racing, but not shocked. And then we come out Friday with just some tremendous qualifiers and Resolute being getting off black. The qualifiers and schoolers, Yuri was the only qualifier, 2 minutes, last quarter 29. Again, progression with him. He looked good. But all the fireworks happened in the schoolers. More Than You Know was great. Renegade Gypsy was great. Carter Michael Dio was great. Spitfire Overseas, a little flat, but again, we're on to him. We know exactly what took place there. His blood work came back good, so it was all mechanical. We'll fix that up this week. And then for me, because I went with him, the highlight of the day was Crantini not being a goof and actually doing his work well. I had Scotty Zeron called me this morning asking about Crantini. Obviously, there's a special spot there. Megan loves the horse, and in fact, Megan is one of our partners on Crantini. She bought 2% of that horse when we had that sale back in May. It's funny, I let that go. We had a lot of people asking if we were going to have another one of those sales, and I had bounced some ideas off Dave Reed and had not got back to him yet, but that is something that would be really cool, I think, as we got to the open house day, would be to have a live, maybe even that day, that afternoon, have it started at 1 o'clock, or even 2 o'clock, because the open house would now be over.
Right.
I'm going to talk to Dave about that. That could be cool. Anyway, Megan had got 2 shares of Crantini back in the wintertime, so obviously her and Scotty were interested in how he went. As I said in my video before, I had it in my mind that he was going to be bad. I was just hoping, praying for the best, but I had to be very grounded as I got to the track because I did not know what Crantini would be like, and he was probably 30% better than I thought he would be. Than he could be in my mind. The horse qualifier schooled in 57 last quarter, 28, 27 in a piece, and just was good. Was very, very good. So hopefully, again, we can grow from there with Crantini next week. Who else went? Crantini, as I said, Spitfire. Carter Michael Dio looked extremely good to me. He finished up right behind. That was Renegade Gypsy and Warwick Xenia. That was in front of him, and he was climbing all over them, finishing up the mile. He looked extremely good also. So that was a Friday. We had Resolute Bay, Gandalf. We're heading into Saturday. I'm hopeful that the horses that trained so bad on Tuesday would bounce back Saturday. That's exactly what they did. We had 18 trainers, not one break. Not one break. They all finished up together. They were all very, very good. We'll talk about the horses that trained in the race bike that day, but the babies were exceptionally good. So happy to see Punch the Clock look good again. You had that close second finish with Flash Fly, the Insider Trading. And who won the last set? Punch the Clock won the last set. Who won the second set? You did with Winter Bells, right? She was very good. So just a great training day across the board. Now, throughout the day, Harry brought Nothing But a Dreamer and Sintra down to the track, and James went with them. 1:59 with Sintra. He was very good, I'm told. And 1:22 with Nothing But a Dreamer. He, too, was very good, I'm told. Both those horses will show up Friday for the schoolers at Mohawk. Back at home at First Line Training Center, I trained Brace for Landing at 2-2 last quarter, and I told you 27, but it was like 27-2, 27-3. To see a horse, a trotter especially, go last quarter at First Line Training Center like that was, to sit behind him was impressive. If anything, he might have been a little grabby.
I'm glad I didn't go with him. Imagine how fast.
He's a little grabby, yeah, but his eyelid was coming nicely. It's got a big kind of gash in it. It's going to look ugly. It's going to look like a hockey player, I think, this summer, but the eyeball itself is 100% perfect. It's just very superficial up on the eyelid. Sometimes it's very hard to sew those up on horses, right? Dr. Bozenjak did a good job. It's going to be a little musty looking for a couple of weeks, and then, as I said, as it finally heals in, probably look a little hockey player-ish. But man, no shortage of speed. He was so good. I wish we had qualified him on Friday, but I can't wait to qualify next Friday. And the only difference is, this Friday was 26 degrees out. Next Friday it's going to be about 12 degrees out. Yeah. So I still can't wait to go with him. He just looks so good to me. I also want to Stay Close. Now, a lot of people ask me about Stay Close. I don't know if Dominic watches these videos. What are you looking at? New Holland. Yeah, I don't know why you're surprised. They're everywhere.
I never heard of them.
Oh my God. Stay Close did not go a mile and 2.6. I went a mile above 58 with him at the farm, and I told Dominic, you just being very protective of him. I said, you want me to go with him? I'll go with him. Stay Close was a bull in a china shop, not in a crazy way at all. He was itching to go a big mile, and I had him very contained. I never spoke to him. I never moved in the race bike. He was exceptionally good. He'll qualify this week also, and man, did he look good on the track. I went specifically, when you went to the barn today, I went over and asked Teresa, how was Stay Close today? She had him on the wheel. She said his legs are great. He's feeling great. He ate everything. Of course, looks like $1 million. I can't wait to see him. Now, a bullish statement. I did make a bullish statement. I said, I don't think he's ever been as good as he is right now. The horse did win in 52, so it might be unfair to say that.
He looks mechanically better.
Well, he's heavier. That's why. The one thing he was always missing was weight, and now he has it. He's 100 pounds plus heavier than he was when when his eye got injured. So we took a negative that cost us quite a bit of money. We call it an investment in our horse. Yeah, we took that money and invested it into the future of Stay Close, because I'm telling you, he looks way better now. Stay Close was great. Brace for Landing was great. The only downfall the entire day, Sir Strong jumped on himself again, made a break. I think that's it for Sir Strong. I think both him and the filly that we have there, the Eva filly or whatever, she'll probably qualify Friday and then head.
What's over there? She's
just a horse. Same thing was up there before. I'm not waiting until she's a 4-year-old to find out if she's any good. And she's just a horse. So she'll go. We'll have a wave of at least 2 or 3 horses to sell next week coming up. I'll qualify Eva first and put Sir Strong on the sale board, I guess, on game. So with that, we got through the Saturday morning. Got through the Saturday afternoon. Then we had Saturday night. Now, I took Amy wasn't feeling well and didn't want to go to the Blue Jays game because it's a long day, right? You got to go all the way downtown Toronto, do exactly what we did, get stuck in traffic. We left, so it was going to be really tight for us to make the first pitch, and instead we made the 4th inning. That's how bad traffic was. So we got there at the 4th inning. We all got the big giant hot dogs and the Haagen-Dazs and the beer, and we had a great day. Watched the rest of the game. The Blue Jays won. They're losing right now. They're getting thumped right now, but they won on Saturday. It was a great game. We left the game, and I looked on my phone, and it was a 7-minute drive. Now, I should have hit the walk button, and I didn't. 7-minute drive to the Eaton Center for shopping. And Ollie wanted a jersey. They didn't have the jersey he wanted at the Rogers Center. So I said, well, we'll go up to the mall. What do we got to do the rest of the day? I got nothing to do. Nobody does. So we walked up to the mall, 30-minute walk, which you might say, oh, come on, Anthony, 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes. The only thing I do for 30 minutes is drive or watch TV. There's no walking for 30 minutes. It's a long walk. And 30 minutes might have been 40, I don't know, but it was definitely not a second less. It was hot, yeah. So we walked all the way up to the mall. We got to the mall at like 8 o'clock. We did, like quarter to 8 or 8. You would never go. It's a good thing that you weren't there because it would have been a complete veto of all shenanigans that took place after.
No shot. I would have done any of that.
Yeah, so we walk up there. We went shopping. Ava got a coat that she has on. Ollie found his jersey he wanted. Addie just got some socks. She wasn't pleased with just the socks being purchased, but that's okay. When we left the mall, now we'd all eaten a hot dog. I was okay with starving myself. I probably put 2 pounds on the last 2 days. I was okay with not eating. The kids were still full from the giant hot dogs.
Why are you telling everyone this?
Because they might want to know.
Oh.
So then Dominic said, well, I may as well get something to eat. There's a million restaurants between the Eaton Center and where we parked. And by the way, where we parked, we didn't even know if we'd be able to find the place. I wrote it all down on my phone, but I was worried it was gone forever. It was in the basement of the Royal York. If you're ever in Toronto, the basement parking of the Royal York, you'd think 7 hours downtown Toronto would be like $80. It's $20. Right in the basement, you just pulled in. It wasn't really that hard to find at all. By the time we walked back down, though, we'd stopped at a really nice restaurant, went in. Addie Bear ate all her supper. She's in cold again. She ate all her supper. She ate all her supper. Ava ate hers. Everybody had a great night. And the McDonald family, minus Mummy, didn't even get home till what, 11:30?
I was sleeping.
11:30 and she was out cold. So it was a big day for us. We got to watch Haunted House go a huge mile. Man, that horse is tough. It looked like coming out of the turn he was going to be 6th again, and he just fights right back on. He's just such a nice horse. 50-3 last quarter and 28-1, but raced so good. And then it wasn't a JK Victory race bad. He's just been lackluster, right? And as we were driving down to meet Lyle, I had thought about it, and I told everybody that Ron Burke said he couldn't take the horse to New Jersey because it was a conflict. So I called him back and I said, Indiana's open now. Do you have a stable down there? And he goes, no, we're opening up a stable there. May 1st, I'm going to have a string of horses down there. I said, you got room for that JK horse? No, he's an Indiana bred. Oh, yeah, we could take him down there for sure. So I haven't talked to Harry about it yet. He can't go down until May the 1st, so he's going to race at least once, if not twice more here. But I suspect it makes all the sense in the world. I can't possibly think of an objection from anybody about taking JK Victory back to Hoosier Park and back to Ron Burke. I think the speed is there. I think we're just a step behind where we need to be with him. And, you guys can see the worth of the horses. We paid all that money for JK Victory, and he showed that big quarter with 25-4 on the end of it. Then you see Haunted House that we all thought we might have paid a little much for, but that's probably a seller's price, and that's what he was worth at the time. That horse is almost made, 55,000 Canadian, and definitely with a mile 50-3, 28 seconds in, it looked good last night. And then you see the other horse that we had just purchased, Oakwood Cowboy, 56,500.
I saw an Oakwood something IL
at the Meadowlands last night?
Yeah.
That's his full brother.
Okay.
Raced at the Meadowlands last night. Somebody had messaged me and said his full brother just raced.
Oakwood.
Ron Burke won his 4th in a row with him.
What's the one that we got?
Oakwood Cowboy.
Okay.
And this was Oakwood. That's his brother. They said it was his full brother.
Oh, okay.
So, but there's a horse racing in the onwards of 4 at Northfield Park that we paid 56,500 for. It doesn't seem right that we can't put a proper price on everything, but it's all timing, right? At the time that JK Victory qualified, I thought he was worth the money, and it's not to say that he's not.
Is he still on?
Yes, it's still. I think when it comes to JK Victory, he's still got all the Illinois stuff down there, all the Indiana stuff down there. Sorry, all the races he's going to have for the most part, Ron Burke can navigate. So if he can just dial him up a little bit more to where he was, then I think all will be forgiven on the JK Victory side. Jeepers. Sun got me again. But it's such a weird game, you can never really tell. And then, you know, I had somebody tell me that we grossly overpaid for Yo Mister when we bought him. And now it looks like a bargain, just like looks like money was. 3 in a row, going to be a huge favorite in the final of that series. We can race him wherever we want after that. Just turned out to be a really, really nice horse. So we've been fortunate, but we're not perfect. We are gonna have stumbles and hiccups, and when it comes to JK Victory, I think we're just gonna have to wait. The horse has shown the speed before. I don't think there's any reason he can't go back there. Just not there yet. So, just a great week, I guess. Not top to bottom. We stumbled out of the blocks Monday and Tuesday, that's for sure. Man, that was terrible. As we get into Sunday, it's been a great week. I guess the only downside left was World for Two had jumped on himself, and Stacy had called me, and, you know, she feels terrible when she calls. I said, just scratch him. If you think he needs to be scratched, scratch him, and then just race him next week. That's fine. So she said, oh, I'm just worried that he's going to take weight. He's going to hit that knee a little bit more because he's off on that foot. If you're worried about it, don't worry about it. Just scratch the horse. So there's that, the scratch from him. Then who do we got time? We get the filly and Flamborough. Cash deals. Very nice filly to drive. She raced good last week when I drove her. Dipper and Perlucky. That's right, Amy got them right. So really excited about the week to come. I know I wasn't even let down by Brace for Landing because everything that was going on was so good. But after training him,
took that really well, actually.
Yeah, well,
I was like waiting for.
No, it's fine. But I can't wait to qualify him this week. I can't wait to race him. And by his, as I said, I don't think his trajectory has changed. I know Scott had asked me about New Jersey Colts today, trotting Colts, because he has one to drive for Nancy, a really nice one, he said, and he was just wondering who we have. I said, as of right now, the horses that I'm certain to send to New Jersey is Tactical Mounts. As I speak right now, I thought it was Hornplayer a couple of weeks ago, but she's going to have to jump forward and start trotting 55, 56 in the next couple of weeks, so she's not going to make the run to New Jersey. But I believe Tactical Mounts will for sure. She's going to hang out there, race there, the Reynolds. She'll be with Megan for most of the summer, if not all of it. And when it comes to Colts, I said Brace for Landing and Tactical Landing Strip are not ready to go. Landing Strip's we're just going to let him progress as he wants to. He's got lots of speed. How much, I don't know. We've only been in 2-3 with him. I'd like to qualify him in 59 or 2 minutes or so on Thursday, and then we can start talking about him again. When it comes to Brace for Landing, I've already unpacked the schedule that we have planned for him, and if everything goes as good as I think, and he races as good as I believe he will, and he's as good a horse as I think he is, Good Times, Swag, Beal, New Jersey Classic, Breeders' Crown, around the horn. And that is where I think, and some races in between, but for the most part, that is what I believe will be a good summer for Brace for Landing. Now, when it comes to Crantini, Carter Michael Dio, Spitfire Overseas, we can go to the Bunker Hill, we can wait and go to the PA All-Stars, race them throughout Pennsylvania. There's other races, as you know, that a number of them are eligible to in between and around there. So their schedules will be a little more fluid, but for right now, we're starting to get a good look at the landscape starting to materialize for our sophomores in North America. The good news is, I don't think I could have asked for any of them to come back any better. I mean, sure, some of the horses we're selling are some of the cheaper ones. We wish they were better, but the ones we know were good as 2-year-olds appear to be coming back extremely strong as 3-year-olds. And that doesn't always happen, but I'm excited to see what is going to take place over the next couple of months. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Amy and I have our top 10 list to talk about, or the 2-year-olds to talk about. I'll give you my top 10 list, and she'll interject with things that she's seen and horses she's gone with and where she thinks they belong. But for right now, the opening, all done here. You're all caught up with the opening and the 2-year-olds. We'll get to the 3-year-olds racehorses. But up next will be our top 10 list. Take care.